welcome to the human side of AI, and I'm Flora, your host. Although today's episode is one of our AI-hosted deep dives, which feels extra fitting given the topic. If you've been online at all this past week, you felt it. 2 massive AI launches dropped nearly on top of each other, and suddenly everyone's telling you to tear down your workflows and rebuild your business overnight. Ugh, exhausting, right? Today's conversation is based on Jam's latest Substack post, The Balanced Architect, from her publication Real AI with Jam. And our AI hosts break down how Jam navigated a chaotic week in AI without the whiplash, why you should treat these tools like engineers instead of search engines, her 4-step framework for handling AI complex jobs, and the cheat code of having 2 AI systems check each other's work. The mantra for this one, be curious, not frantic. And let's get into it.
Imagine like hiring a senior systems architect, right? Someone who designs massive enterprise software. You bring them into your office, you sit them down at a desk, and then you just ask them to fetch you a cup of coffee.
Right, which sounds completely absurd.
Totally absurd. But I mean, if you look at the discourse online right now and how people actually interact with these new AI systems, that is basically what millions of us are doing.
Yeah, it's a massive category error playing out in real time, honestly. People are, they're fundamentally misunderstanding the architecture of the tools. And that's directly leading to this huge sense of exhaustion we're seeing across the tech landscape.
And that exhaustion is exactly why we're doing this deep dive today. Because if you've looked at your feed at all this past week, you know the exact flavor of panic we're talking about.
Oh, the hype cycle whiplash is real.
It's so real. 2 massive AI launches dropped, like essentially right on top of each other. We got huge updates to the Claude-based tool, Fable, and then literally at the same time, OpenAI dropped their massive 5.6 Sol update, all while you, the listener, probably have actual looming deadlines for your day job.
Right, exactly. And the narrative online instantly shifts to this frantic mandate of, tear down your existing workflows, abandon the tools you literally just learned 3 months ago.
Yep, migrate overnight or your business is dead. It's just paralyzing information overload.
Completely paralyzing.
Which makes our source material for today so vital. We're diving into a post from Jam's new Substack, which is called Real AI with Jam.
It's a great read.
It really is. The specific post is The Balanced Architect, Navigating Fable and ChatGPT Sol.
And this whole piece basically inspired today's mission, which is exploring the human side of AI. We want to help you cut through the noise, stop frantically chasing headlines and figure out what genuinely matters here.
Well, what's fascinating here is Jam's approach to this entire week of industry chaos. It is honestly a masterclass in strategic pacing.
Oh, 100%. While the rest of the internet was tangling themselves up trying to adopt everything at once, her methodology was radically different. She read the documentation, played with the tools for about an hour to get the structural capabilities, and then she just shut her laptop and took her daughter to the park.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
Just closed it and went to the park. Her mantra for this is be curious, not frantic, which is just such a necessary mindset shift right now.
It really is. You have to let the dust settle.
But okay, let's unpack this. To actually achieve that level of calm, we have to fundamentally change how we talk to these systems. And that starts with Fable.
Right. Circling back to your coffee analogy.
Exactly. Most people are treating Fable like it's a smarter Google. They type in a simple question and wait for an answer. But Jam says, no, Fable is an engineer.
Yeah, using an information retrieval paradigm for a structural generation tool it's wildly inefficient. You are underutilizing the massive compute power right there at your fingertips.
So you have to give it something to build. Not ask it questions, but hand it complex jobs. And Jam uses this super specific 4-step framework in her community, Club Jam, to do this.
Right, and it completely dismantles traditional prompt engineering.
It really does. So step 1 is just give the idea and the outcome. You define the starting point and what finished looks like. No step-by-step instructions.
Which is so hard for people.
Yeah.
But that absence of micromanagement is crucial because step 2 is let it figure out the messy middle.
Right. Don't micromanage the AI.
Exactly. When humans try to write these multi-paragraph prompts with every single microstep, they actually hamstring the model. Yeah. You're forcing this non-linear problem solver into your linear human constraints. The AI is the engineer. Let it chart the path.
We see that all the time. People spend 3 hours tweaking a prompt when the AI could have done it in 10 seconds on its own.
Exactly.
But step 3 is the absolute game changer. Jam explicitly tells Fable to test its own work. Like she adds a line saying, then test what you built and prove it works. How does that actually happen under the hood?
Well, it's moving way beyond just predicting text. When you say test your work, Fable spins up its coding environment like a secure sandbox, and it actually executes the Python or JavaScript it just wrote.
Wow. So it runs its own code.
Yeah, it writes a secondary testing script, runs it against the main app, and parses the output looking for errors. It becomes its own QA department.
Which sets up step 4 perfectly.
Yeah.
Let it loop. If the test fails, you don't jump in and fix it. You do nothing.
Right. You let the AI read the error logs, isolate the bug, rewrite the code, repackage the whole thing, and run the test again until it passes. You remove the human completely.
The human is out of the loop entirely. And the real-world example Jam shared about this gave me literal chill.
Wow, the marketing app.
Yes. So she's building this AI marketing machine app for a sprint. Hands Fable the idea, lets it handle the middle, tells it to test itself. Fable builds it, tests it, and then autonomously realizes a critical gap in the project.
Right. It noticed that deploying a marketing tool without a go-to-market strategy was, well, structurally incomplete.
Yes. It didn't just fix a typo in the code. It realized the job wasn't done, so it wrote a comprehensive sales and marketing plan to go with the software, all by itself.
And it didn't just spit out a generic list.
Yeah.
It analyzed the app's function, identified the target demographic, and drafted actual strategic docs.
And Jam never even asked for a marketing plan. It just knew.
That right there is the line between a chatbot and an autonomous agent. It anticipated requirements based on context and just executed them without asking for permission.
So if Fable is this ultimate autonomous engineer, right? Why did OpenAI's massive launch this week cause so much panic? Like, what does ChatGPT 5.6 solve bring to the table that competes with that?
Well, OpenAI shifted their whole architectural focus. They didn't just make it smarter, they optimized for environmental integration. So this GPT 5.6 ecosystem has 3 tiers. Luna, which is the fast little one.
Okay, the speed tier.
Right. Then Terra, the mid-tier one. And finally, Sol, the heavy hitter. Sol is built for massive context and long, complex reasoning.
And they packaged this into a new free desktop app with this intuitive dashboard that Jam calls the 3 doors, right?
Exactly. Door 1 is chat, just the standard side panel brainstorming we know. Door 2 is Codex for dedicated coding. But door 3, that's the paradigm shift. That is ChatGPT work.
And this is their direct answer to Claude's co-work agent.
Yeah. It's an autonomous orchestration layer. It runs in the background for hours, managing these huge multi-step workflows.
Okay, wait, I have to push back here, because this is where I think the market is just completely confused.
Sure, go for it.
If ChatGPT work can build things and run for hours, aren't Fable and ChatGPT basically doing the exact same thing now?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't a user just pick one and marry it forever?
That assumption of redundancy is why everyone is so overwhelmed. But it misses how they actually execute. Remember, Fable is a brilliant engineer operating deeply inside its own sandbox.
Okay.
But ChatGPT work operates across your entire digital ecosystem. It integrates into your OS, it reaches into your Slack, reads your Gmail, scans your Google Drive, and pulls data from your CRM.
Oh, wow. So it actually has your context. It's not guessing. It's looking at yesterday's unread client emails before making a move.
Exactly. Plus, for big jobs, it dynamically spins up smaller helper agents, delegates tasks, and then combines their work. But the real reason you wouldn't just use Fable exclusively is the computer control protocol in ChatGPT.
Right. Jam highlighted this as the frictionless automation that separates them. We have to talk about how this works because it sounds like pure science fiction.
It kind of is. ChatGPT work can physically drive a web browser or desktop apps for you.
Like moving the mouse.
Basically, it uses DOM parsing, reading the code of a web page and vision models to see the interface. You just speak naturally, and it translates that into coordinates to click buttons, fill out forms, and use drop-down menus without you touching a thing.
That is wild. You could literally be driving your car, talking to your phone, and say, hey, every Friday at 4 p.m., open my CRM, pull customer feedback, cross-reference it with Zendesk, and update my Google spreadsheet.
And it just executes that entire sequence.
Automatically. You used to need a developer in Zapier for that. Now you just say it out loud.
It completely democratizes complex automation. And the output isn't a wall of text explaining how to do it. It hands you the finished artifact, a formatted spreadsheet, a slide deck, or even a published website.
Which brings us to the ultimate revelation in Jam Substack. The answer to why you shouldn't just pick one is that you play them to their unique strengths. You don't pick a side.
Right, you build a hybrid workflow. Trying to force one tool to do everything is what causes all the panic.
Yeah, and Jam's daily routine is the perfect example. For heavy lifting, coding, building internal apps, Fable is her strictly dedicated engineer because of that amazing self-testing loop.
But for ChatGPT, she uses the chat as her in-the-car brain.
Right.
She uses the advanced voice mode while running errands, screen-free, to brainstorm strategy. And she notes she loves OpenAI for image creation, too, so it handles the cross-app busy work and the brainstorming.
But the real genius here, what Jam calls the AI cheat code, is when she makes these two systems interact. She takes the complex code Fable builds and she feeds it into ChatGPT Sol for a second opinion.
Think about that strategic advantage. In a world of information overload, having one AI actively audit and catch errors in another AI's work is revolutionary. It's automated peer review.
It's like cross-bracing a bridge, right? You don't use the exact same steel for every beam. You use different materials so they compensate for each other's weaknesses.
That is a highly accurate analogy. Fable and ChatGPT have totally different underlying architectures and alignment protocols. They process logic differently.
So they have different blind spots.
Exactly. Pitting them against each other leverages those differences. You aren't just relying on Fable's internal test loop. You bring in an independent auditor.
Which takes so much cognitive load off the human. You don't have to be the judge of whether Fable wrote secure Python. You just ask ChatGPT Sol to be the judge.
And a business using a dual model review system is going to outpace everyone else with way fewer critical errors.
So let's bring this all back to you, the listener. The hype cycle is going to keep spinning. There will be another model drop next month for sure.
Oh, definitely.
But you do not have to rebuild your business overnight just because there's a new space-themed AI tier.
The capabilities are profound, but applying them frantically completely negates their utility. It's all about measured implementation.
Exactly. So here is a very specific challenge for you today, straight from Jam.
Yeah.
Stop trying to master everything. Pick just one thing. Hand Fable a tiny build, like a script to organize your downloads, and explicitly tell it to test its own work.
Let it handle the messy middle. Or, if you want to try OpenAI, open ChatGPT, WorkJam, Notes, the web or mobile app might be most stable right now, and give it one real multi-step job. Tell it to pull data and build a spreadsheet. Just watch how it orchestrates.
And if that feels daunting, Jam actually invites people to bring their messy drafts, Club Jam, to build them live. You don't have to do this alone. You can be the architect, calmly directing the work instead of drowning in it.
Which leaves us with a really fascinating and maybe slightly uncomfortable thought to mull over.
Oh boy, okay.
Building on that cheat code idea, having AIs critique each other, if we are using autonomous agents to draft, code, and audit our projects, we are transitioning from being creators to becoming judges.
Wow, yeah. We're just presiding over a debate between our tool.
Exactly. But if your daily job is just judging a high-level debate over complex code or strategy, how do you evaluate the winning argument if you haven't manually executed that skill yourself in years? Like, how does stepping out of the creation loop change what it means to actually be an expert in your field?
Oh man, that is a heavy concept to chew on during your next walk to the park. Take a breath, stay curious, and we'll see you on the next deep dive.